Here, I have my Field Maps app, and that's what it should look like for you too. And I'm gonna tap on that. And when you first get in, this is what you should see. And you're gonna use this one here, sign in with ArcGIS Online. And this is where you put that username and password. So you would type the username. And since I've already signed in once, it saves it for me, but you'll need to type it in the first time and then the password. So when you get in there on this sign on, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the pilot map and you're going to see the crab trap removal map. The pilot map is used by the person in the plane that flies over and looks for traps, because all the crabbers have to have their traps out of the water and everything is considered derelict. So we have a volunteer who goes up into a plane and he marks. So he uses that one. You do not use that one. Okay, that is for him to use. When you're out on the bay picking up, removing crab traps, you're going to use this one here. I'm going to tap on that. And it takes me to where I am right here. And you'll see that button turning blue and turning gray because of the connection or the accuracy, but it will work either way, if it's blue or if it's gray. So to mark a trap, we come down here to this blue bullseye with the plus sign, and I tap on that. And then you can see here that it puts a pink square, and that's the symbol for a removed trap. Now, at this point, let's say I'm in the boat and I want to say it was over on the shoreline. I take my two fingers and I put it on the map, and I can move it over to the shoreline there. So I can move it there, and then you can say tap here to enter a remove trap. Now, let's say, oh, it wasn't exactly there. You want to move it again. I'm going to come down here. Maybe it was right off of here. And then you would say here, update point. This here. You would say update point, and it moves that box down to where you really want it. So now all you have to do is you pull the form up. So I'm going to put my fingers on the form and move it up to see the questions. So here under volunteer name, that's required because everybody's using the same password, username and password. You do have to put in your name. Either you could put your initials or your first name, just something we can identify you if we have questions about it later. So it doesn't have to be lengthy. It doesn't have to be your full name, but we do need to be able to identify you. So I'm going to tap in there. It brings up my keyboard, and I'm just going to put BB. And then I go down the line and answer these questions. Was the trap on the shoreline, in the open bay, or in the back lakes and marshes? So I'm going to say it was on the shoreline. Was there a float present? Yes. Was there a tag on the trap? I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to scroll up a little bit more, and I'm going to type that tag owner's name in there. A very common owner of the traps is Win, but we want their full name because there's a number of Wins that have traps and licenses. Thay Win is one of the guys that has traps in San Antonio Bay. So, oops. So Thay Win. Now, if it does not have a tag, if it has a float, and oftentimes there's a number burned into the float, and if you can read that number, you can put that number in here. Okay. So that's all we want is that. And then if you want to move to the next field, you see this next button. That'll take the cursor down to that next field. And so that it's very handy. So now you can put in, does it have any blue crabs? Well, let's say no. And then I go next, but it has 5 stone crabs and you can go next. It had 1 fish, next, no turtles, next. And this is for any special notes you want to make or some interesting circumstance about the trap itself. If there's nothing else, you can hit the submit button up here. Just one other word though, if you want to, I'm going to scroll back to the top of the form and take note that there is a button here where you can take a photo. If you have something that some unusual critter or the trap looks old or something, I'm going to hit that button and it actually turns into a camera and you hit the photo and then you say use photo or retake. And then you see how it puts it right here inside the record. And so now you can hit that submit this here. I'm going to hit that. And it'll give you a nice check mark. And there's your trap that you've entered. Let's say you're the data collector and somebody says, oh no, there was 6 stone crabs in there instead of 5. You can come back down here to the edit button. You see how this is highlighted in blue? That's the trap that you're on. And so you can pick the trap that you're on. If you have multiple and you want to add another to, you just tap it to highlight it in that light blue color and then come down here to edit. And when I hit edit, it brings up that form again. And so I can scroll down and I can say, nope, there was really 6 stone crabs. And then I can do submit again. And now that's updated it, submitted. Also, if you want to get rid of a point, you can delete them underneath the ellipsis, the 3 dots down here. I'm going to hit that. And you can see here how I have a delete. If you absolutely need to, you can remove something if it's an accident or you put too many or whatever. And that's about it.
Guys, a couple of comments on the camera. If you have a turtle or something really odd in the trap, please take pictures of it. We're always looking for interesting pictures. You also can use it to take pictures of your crew in action, your team in action. You may prefer to do that on your personal camera, but we never seem to have enough pictures of people out there doing things, and it's always helpful to have that documentation. It helps us in our press releases and helps us in our programs and all kinds of stuff. So take plenty of pictures, at least on your personal camera if it's just your team. But if there's something interesting in the trap or about the trap, a really old tag or something on it, take a picture of it. And good luck with the Field Maps app.